Hello, I'm Miss Caramagno, and I'm your students' World Studies teacher. I'm very excited about having students this year and getting to work with them in this new form of distance learning, and I want to take a minute to talk to you about the class. World Studies covers world history from the year 1700 to World War II. And then students get more modern world history sophomore year through AP, CWI, or social justice classes. This year, we're going to be focusing on skills and preparing students for advanced work in AP classes sophomore, junior, or senior year. We're also going to be integrating current events and tying them back to their historical roots. So you'll see a lot of work students doing, making connections between the past and the present. We will be having assessments. They will be short answer and usually open book. And students will need to do quite a bit of work on their own at home, but hopefully the lessons that we're developing as a team will have sufficient scaffolding and support that students can do well. When students do find challenges, I want you to encourage them to contact me through Remind, which comes directly to my phone as a text message, or come to office hours or send me an email. I'm available all the time, and I don't mind helping students work out the kinks in their thinking or explain directions a little bit more clearly. I want to point you to some resources that I've made available to parents through my Canvas page. If you haven't signed up for Canvas, I encourage you to do so. You can look through emails you've gotten from the school on how to do that, or go to the main school webpage, mvla.net/mvhs, to get more information on registering for Canvas as a parent. On that page, you can find lots of useful things. I'm going to show some of them to you now. This is my Canvas page and what it will look like when you visit as a parent. There is actually an entire section just for parents, and I want to start by going there. This is the button. You just click the image of the family, and you can get a lot of information. Here's all my contact information and how to access the Canvas page. You can bookmark this interactive Google Doc and stay updated by visiting it regularly. There's a video of introduction I sent at the beginning of the school year. There's a video on how I grade in World Studies, especially my policies around resubmitting work after improvement so that students learn the skills they need and the content they need to be successful. And today I added a new video on menu projects, which is an instructional technique that we are using this year in distance learning. Below, there are messages to parents where I bring up things that have come up over the last couple of weeks or give you a heads up on what we're doing in class and how your students might be interacting with the material. So feel free to read those. I also send them as an email for those parents who are struggling to get on Canvas or don't have time to check it. You can also get the course information sheet on Canvas. It's right here. This document is going to tell you all of the rules and regulations for World Studies, everything that you need to know about the content and skills we're going to cover, and all of our grading policies, as well as how much each category is worth. You can see our grading scales here and our policies around late work and resubmissions and revisions. In this World Studies class, we really strongly believe that students don't all get the level of expertise they need on their first try. And so it's really important to us to create a system where students can refine their skills by resubmitting work after it's been improved. That way I can reflect to students what they need to work on and what they did well, and then they can make those changes and really master the skills and content that they need. There's a link here to Aries so you can check grades, and students do submit their work on Canvas so that you can see it. I don't grade everything. But the things I do grade really reflect what students have learned. And you should be able to access your students' work through this modules button. There's also contact information for me on this page that's easy to find, and links to the different Google Classrooms I'm using to send work to students. I made the decision to use Google Classroom as the main method to send work to students because it means that I will be able to be on the document with them at any time in order to help them. They don't have to go through an additional step to share it with me. Google also automatically saves student work, which is not something that happens if you are doing your work in Canvas directly. And since students are familiar with Google Classroom, I wanted to make sure that they would have access to a system that they already knew how to do for the beginning of the school year. As the school year progresses, we're going to be adding more and more programs and techniques. Their textbook will have resources that are digital and online. We'll be introducing those in a few weeks. And we'll also be using other attachments and apps like Newsela and Actively Learn. I'm trying to roll these out one at a time so that students have a chance to master them before we go on to the next thing. In any case, my philosophy is that we need to be really flexible during this time, that it's really important that when students meet challenges, they can contact me, let me know, and we can work together to find something that's going to work for them. I understand that life is uncertain and chaotic right now. And while I think it's important to provide structure and due dates so that students don't get behind and can participate fully in class because they've prepared the work that we're talking about, I also know that a lot is out of our hands right now. So if your student is having trouble, please encourage them to contact me and we'll work something out together that works for both of us. I can be flexible and creative, and I'm ready to do that for your students. If you have any other questions, I encourage you to contact me via email. Please keep checking the parent portal on Canvas, or at least the emails that I'm sending home. They have terrific advice on how you can support your student and make sure that they're doing everything that they need to be doing. In fact, this week I'm sending home a little note on how you can help your student organize their work so that they get everything in on time and can fully participate in class. I'm really excited to work with your students this year. They are turning out to be as wonderful as I expected, as interesting and varied and thoughtful and clever. And if you want a good laugh this evening, ask them if a hot dog is a sandwich and have them present their evidence, because it was a charming interlude in our work this week. And they have a lot to say on the subject. Until next time, thank you for visiting my classroom, and I'll talk to you again soon.